Ed, we're back in the
we're back in
room.
the room. Hang
Back.
on, he says adjusting his screen. There you go. Okay.
All right, cool. Okay, we're there.
We're there. Where are we, Martin? Where are
Where are we going?
what are we doing? How are we doing it?
Firstly, we're glad that you're here. Pull up a pew. Join us. And
In our broad church, that is
ADHDville.
ADHDville, yeah.
Yeah. So let's
It's a
go
very
to
broad church.
a place where the distractions, the landmarks, and the detours are on the main road. Welcome to ADHDville.
Meet the gang, 'cause the boys are here. Boys to entertain, boys to entertain you about ADHD, shit and stuff. Hello, I'm Paul Thompson with a P, and I was diagnosed with the combined ADHD and the D again, dragging and kicking and screaming towards 3 years ago.
And I'm Martin West, and I was diagnosed with ADHD in 2013, and I'm undiagnosed autistic, and we are the ex-mayors of ADHD, and we are hanging out at the King's Agitated Head pub in ADHDville, sitting in the back, where we are having a drink and taking care of business. And this week, the business is trauma response.
Yes.
And we have a quiz.
Trauma response, episode 141. Would you, Adam and Eve?
No.
It's a lot of episodes.
If someone had said, will you do 141 episodes? I'm like, nah, mate. Maybe
We'd
10.
probably say that's stretching it, isn't it? But no, we're still stretching it like, yeah.
We are stretching it like Stretch Armstrong. Right. Well, so I believe this is all. Let's jump in the tractor.
Yeah.
And,
I think we're going to the spa, aren't we, Martin?
I think that's a good idea, because as we're talking about trauma, I think we need to go somewhere.
Right. And also because that's what you wrote on the script.
That is exactly what I did, mate. Yes. Cucumbers on eyes.
Yeah. The exact opposite of trauma. You know, when you experience trauma, what you need is like a fridge full of cucumber slices. You know?
That's exactly what you need.
It's exactly what you need. And if you're feeling particularly traumatic, you can increase the kind of the thickness of the slices.
Oh, I see.
Apparently that's how it works.
Oh, so depending on how much trauma you have is directly relational to the thickness of the cucumber. And that's
so if you see someone with whole cucumbers in their eyes,
2 cucumbers.
Yeah.
They've had a fucked up life.
They're probably they probably need a hug.
Oh God, yeah. And the rest. Or not.
Yeah.
Ask if they want a hug, because honestly, if you're that level.
Yes. Especially if you're autistic. I think that's more of an autistic trait, isn't it?
What's that?
Hugs.
Oh, no, I mean
not liking them.
It's honestly it's across the board.
ADHD and autistic.
I mean, it's a trauma response. So anything that has given you trauma will.
Well, that's topical.
I know, mate.
Bang on topic. That is.
Bang on.
Bang on topic. It's bang on topic also because one of the reasons why we're doing this subject today is because there's a recent report that's come out, recent research. I don't know how many people it is. I don't even know where it was, but apparently it's significant enough that people are paying attention to it. More specifically, what came out was that if you are an individual, like Martin is an individual.
Hey.
I'm an individual. Hello. You are an ADHD in adult ADHD individual. You are roughly 4 times more likely to develop post-traumatic stress disorder or severe trauma responses following an adverse event compared to neurotypical peers. And that's a lot. That's a lot. You know, when you get like research comes out and they say, oh, you know, it's like 1.75 times more likely. No, this is
Mm-hmm.
4 times more likely.
400%, mate.
You know,
Is yeah. Yeah, yeah.
so even if they missed something, they list maybe as they do in any research because it often depends on the numbers. But 400% is not leaving. It's not. There's not a lot of wiggle room in that, is there?
No.
No.
Because you sent me a link and it had like it was like a a someone else's summary
Yes.
of the thing. So
Of
I
the
went
findings. Yeah.
right. So I searched around to try and find the original
Okay. There's specific research.
research, which I had a bit of trouble finding, but it looks like it was from 2016, and it's a sort of a it's a
No, it's not. It's definitely from. It's really recent. It's like
is
in the
it
last, literally in the last 3 weeks. It's come out.
all right? Okay, then I shall reverse beep 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 out of that because I was having trouble finding it.
Okay.
So I'm
Um,
just going off the summary.
okay.
Uh,
Okay. So apparently, one of the reasons why we're 400% more likely to be affected by trauma is because the ADHD brain operates with an over. And I'm reading this because this is important to get right. It, our ADHD brains operate with an overactive stress response system and a smaller working memory capacity, so that when trauma hits, the ADHD brain has less cognitive buffer to process it, causing the trauma to manifest in highly specific behavioral responses. Okay.
mm-hmm.
So I think this is very interesting because it kind of plays into the hands of Gabor Mate, who says it's not genetic at all, and it's purely ADHD is purely a trauma response.
Wait, what?
Now, I think this proves that to me it's both.
What?
I think that if you are genetically, genetically, we probably inherited it from our parents, okay? But
Yeah.
if you've also, in parallel, had trauma during your childhood, you're much more likely to suffer severe effects of ADHD.
Wait. Okay. I affect. All right. I I s- I am. Am I right in interpreting that? So there's ADHD, which is a genetic condition,
Yes,
and what that does is that it causes all kinds of you've got executive function problems
yes.
and as you grow up, that tends to cause trauma, right? It so there's a
Uh,
so
yes, but trauma could also be completely unrelated to ADHD.
right
It could be
so
just because you've got parents that shouldn't be parents, for example. We just found different ways of managing the trauma.
right
But
yes
it's together with the fact that we're ADHD. They're not separate things.
no exactly yeah. So like from what I got out of it, um, the reason why it's 400% higher is because you have ADHD and that makes your life struggle. Therefore, you fail at things. Therefore, there's more shame. and then that circles back, and then that and then
Yeah,
then like it starts to fuck you up, and then you fuck up more, and then
yeah.
you try harder, and then and that cycle just causes
There's that
the
the
trauma.
yeah, as you're saying, the shame of not fitting in and trying to force yourself to fit in, you
Right.
know, and then
Masking.
the double shame of being inauthentic, you know.
Yeah. So
There's like for me, shame is such a massive part.
right.
I think no, talking of trauma response, shame is a massive one,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah. Um,
Shouldn't ever be underestimated how important shame is. And I
right.
think pretty much anyone who has ADHD.
Right. Because I think if you do have ADHD or your LDHD, I think you kind of like look at this study and go, duh, yeah, like
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course, like for us, yeah, sure, we get it, and I feel like sometimes the scientific the scientific
Oh,
community
massively.
takes a while to kind of like
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're
catch
kind
up
of
with
preaching to the
lived
converted
experience.
to us. I mean, the report isn't for us, is it? Really,
Right.
this research's not for us. They're preaching to the converted.
Right. So I
As
guess
you say, yeah, duh, yeah. This is what we say. But at least there is research being done, and costing a lot of money. Usually, research is really expensive, generally.
right.
So
Yeah.
it is being done, and 400%. Like I said at the beginning, that's a big thing. It's not like 1.3 or something.
Right.
There's no wiggle room at all. It's like
Yeah.
it's pretty freaking convincing.
I would suspect that autism is as high. It might even be higher um,
Yeah,
than that. That's what my gut says, but that'd be
I
interesting.
my gut says that. I mean, there's a really good. It's actually a really good podcast called The Hidden 20%. It's a podcast about autism. The reasons why it's called The Hidden 20% is that they think that the real number is about 20% of the population is neurodiverse, right?
Hmm.
I think it's much higher.
Mate, I like honestly. If I was an alien, or I don't know, then no. Let's just say that I forgot all of the statistics, and I didn't
Yeah,
know any of that. And someone said, from my lived experience, what
yeah,
do you think the percentages between neurotypical and neurodivergent? And I would kind of go, I don't know, mate, 50-50.
yeah, totally, totally.
That's that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, totally. And what I think is, I don't know whether it's because of my hypervigilance and I'm good at pattern recognition, blah blah blah. But I think that in about 20 years, neurodiversity will be given 20 different names, maybe 30, or at least I hope it does, because it's mostly about language. It's about what we call it. And ADHD would be like history in about 20 years' time as a description, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because like
I
even
do
me and
wonder
you,
that.
we're really different. We've got a lot of similarities, but we're really different as well.
Right, because like as far as I can work out, you can take like a whole bunch of people with various mental, like just the whole range of mental stuff, right? Like
Hmm.
autism and anxiety disorders and all of them, right? All of
Hmm.
them, and it's just like everyone's different. They all have a slightly different pattern,
Totally.
and I kind of feel like, well, you know what, like someone grouped a bunch over here and called it something. Then they grouped another
Yes,
bunch and called it over here and called it something else.
exactly.
And it's like, are these? They're helpful,
Yeah,
but will they change
but
over time? Will we kind of go, oh,
but
you know what? We have to unravel this because
yeah,
we've worked out something about the
yeah,
brain, and actually we should
right.
categorize them in a different way.
And we'll talk about categorizing. The general accepted categories is an American system that's only updated every 10 fucking years, right?
Right. Yeah.
And not only that, it's a well-known given that the whole categorization system, okay,
Oh.
is only for insurance purposes. It's
Oh.
totally generated by health insurance, so that
Oh.
they know how or if to give out insurance claims,
All right.
which is
Interesting.
completely different to actual need and reality.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, that wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. The whole DSM thing feels,
exactly.
it feels like a sort of a first stab at something.
Yeah. Well,
But
being gay 20 years ago in the DSM was considered to be a disease,
right.
right?
So yeah.
A
I,
psychological disease.
so I have actually thought about this before, and it's like, well, if it changed, would we have to change the name of the podcast? Would it be
Oh,
like
massively,
like
yeah.
it isn't ADHDville anymore? It'd be like
Oh, massively.
something else.
Well, I mean, in one way, I hope it doesn't, but in most ways, I hope it does. Well, the thing about what came out of this research was there was three or four typical trauma responses that they talked about. Okay, one of them was chronic hypervigilance. Okay,
Right.
which is the overactivated fight or flight response. Okay,
Yes.
even to the extent of they remarked about how some people with ADHD or autism can listen to someone's footsteps and take a judgment on how stressed they are
Yeah.
or how they're going to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely have that. That's
Right.
something I definitely have. Reading the room, all of these kind of things. So this the same. It's pretty typical in the neuro diversity community.
Right. But yeah. But it is, to be clear, it is not part of ADHD. It's not part of
No,
autism. It's a trauma response that's fallen
totally.
out of those
Yeah,
conditions, as well as all kinds of others. I mean, like God,
it's
I
not
mean,
a definition of ADHD. It's a
no,
symptom of it.
yeah, 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 for
Yeah,
sure. It's like I can imagine if I had an alcoholic father. I didn't, but you know, I I would know what mental state he was in by some tiny, yeah, something like how he walked, or
yeah,
what he, or how he came home,
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
how he closed the front door after work.
yeah.
Like
Right,
those small things would be, my nervous system would be like calibrated to these tiny
massively.
little
I had a friend that actually
nuances.
had that exact experience with his father.
Right. Yeah,
So when his
yeah,
dad came home drunk from the pub at night, he would be able to read. He would know how serious the situation was going to, how it was going to escalate, judging on how heavy his footsteps were.
yeah, nuts, right?
That's nuts, right?
Ugh.
Um, so yeah, the other things was zoning out, deep dissociation, and zoning out as a trauma response. I can put my hand up to this massively. I know now. I know it since I got diagnosed with ADHD, and I can see various times in my life in the past when I have when things have got tough in a relationship or with my professional life, I start to disassociate, and it's a
Right.
red flag. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It's a
I do it
big
all
red
the time.
flag, disassociation.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Well, not all the
Yeah,
time, but I mean, like chunks of my day, I'm disassociating
yeah,
on my
yeah.
phone or
Oh, massively,
whatever.
exactly. Um, and then there's another one, fawning and chronic rejection sensitivity. Fawning is a trauma response where a person automatically defaults to people pleasing,
Yeah,
over appeasing, and abandoning their own boundaries to avoid conflict or abandonment. This is a massive one as well.
yeah, that will be me.
Yeah,
Although I have been getting better over the years, but yeah, I mean,
yeah.
absolutely
I've got better at it, especially since I got diagnosed. Definitely.
right.
Um, when I started giving less of a shit about other people's feelings.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
game changer, and game changer is not an expression I like to use very much because it's such an overused expression.
Like exclamation marks.
Exactly. Oh, it's a fucking game changer. Fuck off! It's not a game changer. Anyway, in this case,
Exclamation
it
mark.
was for me at least. Yeah, it's really liberating to start caring a bit less about pleasing other people.
Right. But
Massively liberating.
it's weird because because you grow up and you like try and be the person that the other person wants you to be, like what your mum
Yeah.
wants you to be, what your dad wants you to be, what your brother or what the teacher wants you
Mm,
to be, what your mates what you want you to be. So you end up like being all these different versions of yourself, right?
yeah.
So you're fawning and you're people pleasing, and then as as it, like I didn't really realize the impact of that until someone would say, "Oh, Martin, what do you want?" I'm like, "Huh? What?
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
you mean? What I
Yeah.
want? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know what I want.
That's really
Ask
interesting.
ask someone else what I want."
Yeah. That's really interesting, Martin, because I remember once I was having some real problems at work dealing with um, some like interpersonal, problems with a colleague, and it was going on for weeks and weeks, and I just like overthinking it massively, and then it got to the point I remember exactly where I was. I was walking along the street in Reigate, where I used to live and work, and I came up with that exact question to myself, Martin. Paul, what the fuck do you want?
Hmm.
And that was really liberating. That simplicity of like filtering out all the shit. Like, Paul, what do you want? And I
Right,
thought, I need to leave that agency.
right. Yeah,
You
I find
know,
it quite difficult to know. I mean, even
yeah,
now, I would have to process. Like, if someone says, "Oh, what do you want?" Blah blah blah, and I will have to and unless I've previously thought it and come up with an answer, I'll have to sit there and kind
right,
of go and work it out in my head.
yeah.
Like, I'll get back to you. I'll have to think about what it is that I want.
But
Um,
it's always those simple questions, isn't it? It's like, who are you? Who am I? What
right,
do I want? Are the
right.
most challenging, really the most challenging
Right.
things
But I
to
mean, but
do.
the thing about fawning and people pleasing, the upside to that in my life has been right. So I go to an interview. I will be the person that that person wants for the interview. So I get the
Mhm.
job. I am in the job. They want me to be this person. I will
Right.
be that person, and I will get better jobs and go up through the ranks
Mhm.
and earn more money and win awards and get the big jobs and all of that, right? it
Mhm.
like it weirdly can make you very
Ye-
successful
Because you turn into a chameleon, don't you?
until yes, and you just become the thing that the environment wants you to be at that time.
Yeah.
And if you're kind of like skilled or smart or whatever, you can make it work for you, and that's
Yeah.
fine ish.
ish,
until it all
until it's
goes
not.
away, right? Until
Yeah,
no one asks you, wants you to be anything in particular, and then you're like, oh, who the fuck am I? I've just been this other
yeah,
person for like the last 20 years, and it's been
yeah,
it's,
yeah,
it's been a mixed bag, and I've got, I bought a house and cars and shit and
yeah.
awesome, but like, who am I? I've
No,
been to
but
paradise, but I've never been to
Jim,
me.
Jim Carrey's been a really interesting example of this. He just said he became there was the person that people saw Jim Carrey on films became Jim Carrey, and there was no blur between him and the real Jim Carrey. There was no difference between the one in the movies and the one in real life, and he completely lost his shit.
Yeah, he did. What was that movie where he was the
Yeah,
comedian? Um,
yeah, it's
oh,
a
what the
great film.
right? So he had to like he method acted. He method
Yes,
acted to be. Oh,
he
God,
acted the is a famous comedian, American comedian
yeah,
who
whose
died
name?
very young, and he was in the sitcom, American sitcom called Taxi,
Right,
playing a Czechoslovakian
Kaufman,
mechanic. Kaufman,
Kaufman.
Kaufman,
Right, and
exactly.
that movie fucked him up, fucked
Yeah,
up Jim Carrey because he would just like rewired his whole brain to be that
exactly.
person.
Well, on
Oof.
Netflix, there's the making of that film,
Oh,
and you
cool.
can literally watch him like in a total mess.
Right. So there
He'd
you
be
go.
literally in the taxi on the way to the set every day. He was almost like 24 hours a day in the character of Kaufman.
Right. Yeah. So there you go. That's so that
But I
fawning.
mean, it's easy. It's an easy. It seems like an exaggerated example, but you know,
uh,
people pleasing is that you do anything to avoid rejection sensitive dysphoria. You know, you do
Right.
anything to accept reject to avoid the rejection by just pleasing people
Right.
to the
What?
point where you totally lose a sense of who the fuck you are.
Right. But my point is that it's not just like, oh, it's simple to say,
No,
yeah, just don't do it, because
no, no.
actually it weirdly, our society pay, it it likes you to do that. It wants
Well,
it rewards you for it.
how many people live a lie? I mean, come on.
Almost everyone.
Almost everyone lives a lie, you know?
Right. Yeah, but if you can be the thing that the people around you want you to be and you're bloody good at it,
Yeah,
especially at work, professionally,
yeah,
it's like, woohoo, win, win,
yeah, no,
win,
totally,
success, but at a
totally.
cost.
Yeah.
At a
And
cost.
of course, because I mean, I've said several times in different episodes of the podcast, I had a breakdown, mental breakdown when it was about 12 years ago. And I just completely, because there's a limit to how far you can go with that way of
Hmm.
living, and I reached the end of it
Right.
totally to the point where, well, you know this story, Martin, but anyone who doesn't listen to all of the episodes, I was in a pharmacy one time, just on a normal, visit to a pharmacy, and there was this column, a structural column inside the pharmacy that had glass from floor to ceiling on it. And I looked and I caught my reflection in the glass, and I was an empty vessel.
Oh, blimey.
And it fucking scared the hell out of me.
Right.
But at the same time, however traumatic that was, we're talking about trauma, however traumatic it was, it's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, there is. even trauma itself has everything has an upside to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Every cloud has a silver lining, as they say.
right, if you can work your way through that, then you're a better person. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, the
yes,
if is the key word there, isn't it?
right, if
I know people that have never worked it out or not even started.
yeah,
They're too scared to start. You
yeah,
know, I
mm-hmm,
know plenty of people,
yeah,
and then not necessarily, are quite often neurotypical as well,
yeah, it'd
or
be,
maybe even more likely to be neurotypical. I think the neuro diverse community are just slightly more open to the idea of starting from scratch,
right.
and re-evaluating their lives.
But there are more people whose lives have gone off the rails
Right,
who
totally.
are neurodivergent. So whether they end up in
Yeah,
prison or whether they
yeah,
don't make it out at all. So I would
yeah,
think that
yeah.
that,
Prisons
that
full of
right,
neurodiverse community,
right, uh,
tons of them.
that that we suffer the most
Yeah,
for that.
um, um, and substance abusers,
Mus-
etc. Okay. Another thing that came out of it was maladaptive hyperfocus and splintered executive functioning. What is that? You ask. I'm about to tell you what that is.
all
When
right,
trauma introduces a profound sense of helplessness, the ADHD mind will often try to claw back a sense of control by weaponizing its capacity to hyperfocus. What does that look like? Well, I'm glad you asked. They may become obsessively consumed by a singular rigid project, a research rabbit hole, or a technical task to the complete exclusion of their basic physical needs eating, sleeping, and hygiene. Tick.
right, yeah, yeah.
Rabbit holes.
So that's like you can save the day basically. That's
Yeah,
it's that sort of Superman. I will swoop in and hyper focus on something, and everything will be absolutely fine
yeah,
uh, at the cost of everything else. Everything else.
yeah. Or you go down the rabbit hole, and that rabbit hole, I mean, my rabbit holes could last sometimes months, right? If I was in a particular season with my job, you come out the other end, and I think there's some element of, oh, let's hope it sorted itself out in the meantime, so I don't have to deal with it when I come out the other end.
Right.
If that makes
Oh,
sense.
you mean like sort of avoiding the
Ignore it and hope it goes away.
yeah, ignoring tough stuff by hyper focusing on something else.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I am. I will put my hand up to that every day of the week.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
bad.
So what they're saying is that there's a cumulative effect of all of these ways that we respond to trauma. Okay, and they call it a structural loop. What makes this so difficult is that the ADHD and trauma live in bi-directional loops. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the executive functioning deficits of ADHD make it harder to emotionally regulate and file away traumatic memories, while the trauma itself actively worsens working memory and impulse control, making the baseline ADHD symptoms feel significantly heavier.
Right. I was having this conversation the other day, which is like, yeah, you kind of get these traumas, right, and they just build up over time,
Yeah.
and they're stored in your body
Hmm.
generally, and and your and your nervous system adapts itself to that,
Yes.
so that
However
you're
toxic it is,
right.
it becomes a comfort blanket.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, you just kind of like your entire person becomes about your trauma and trying to
Yeah.
work, trying to live a life with it, right?
Yeah.
And your brain and your logical thinking are completely separate, right? So it's like, so I can think about having trauma and go, oh yes, I do have trauma. I have a narcissistic
Hmm.
mother who caused me all kinds of trauma, but
Hmm.
just knowing it doesn't
Isn't enough.
help.
No.
It's just like
You
step
need the
one.
language, don't you? You need the language.
Well, you have to train your nervous system
Yeah.
into into kind of calming down when it gets
Yeah.
triggered, and you have to like change your entire life
Yeah.
so that actually
I think.
you can function better. But just knowing your
Yeah.
traumas
No. No. Totally.
just doesn't
I think
solve anything. Well, much.
there's another two aspects I think you need are potentially shed loads of energy to sort it out.
Yeah,
A lot of energy.
you have to
You also
sleep
need a
well,
lot of, exactly. You also need a lot of courage
eat well,
because it's much easier. It's much easier just to ignore it.
right, exercise, and all these things, sleeping, eating, exercise. Oh, I was saying
Mhm.
they get sacrificed
Yeah.
early early doors for other things,
Yeah.
or you have trouble sleeping, which a lot of people do,
Mhm.
and trouble having eating issues and will only like certain foods,
Yeah.
um, and they're not necessarily good for you
Yeah.
particularly.
I was
So
thinking also about mental energy as well. It's like if maybe tomorrow or one day I decide, okay, I'm going to go back into therapy, that requires a hell of a lot of mental energy. It's like,
right,
you know, that every time you have an appointment, you're thinking, well, if you think like I do, I want to make the most of the money that I'm spending. So I go in there with a plan, you know,
right,
and of what I want to say or what I don't want to say. And I found that exhausting. When you stop, it's quite liberating. I found. So oh, okay, I can not think about that for a bit.
right, because
I can stop
doing
analyzing it.
right, because that mental energy has to come from somewhere, and it will come
Right.
from sleep and food and exercise and all those other things, right? and
Mm.
and adapting your life so that you you don't get worn down all the time
Yeah.
by things, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
But there's a lot of people that don't do it. I'm convinced a lot of people don't do it because they are basically shit scared to start it.
well, not only that, because they may have a sense of, and I think I probably had it, because when you start thinking about it, you go, oh shit, you literally have to change everything.
Everything. Yeah.
You have to start again almost
Yeah. That's
and
scary,
rethink
right?
your entire life. I mean, not only is it scary, but it takes a lot of
Yeah. Yeah.
thinking, because
Blimey.
it's like,
Yeah.
well, okay, so I have to have sleep, right? Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm getting really bad sleep. Why am I not getting bad sleep? Oh, because I go to bed really late. Why am I not going to bed really late? Oh, because of this, that, and the other. Oh, maybe I have to
Yeah.
change
Yeah.
X, Y, Z. Let's try that. Oh, that didn't
Yeah.
work. Let me try this. Maybe it's the food. Maybe I have to change the food. Maybe I have to do this. So even going into it with like
Yeah.
all the good
And
intentions, it requires
totally.
it's like
Plus, if
ugh,
you're in a relationship, if you're in a relationship or you have a family, young, especially a young family to deal with, that's hard. That's
yes,
really hard. Because it's like I always say to people, look, depression is a very, very um, um, egocentric place to be.
selfish.
It's a very selfish thing because it
It
has to be.
well, because it just is. I mean,
It just is. You
it's
can't. You haven't got any capacity to sort out anyone else's problems.
and
Unfortunately,
that isn't a character flaw. I'm not saying that
no.
as a
It's just how it is,
it's just yeah, it's you
which
in
can
your
be
head,
really hard on your partner or your family. You know.
right? Because you've got the traumas, right, that you have and you're bringing these things into a a relationship, and not only do you have to like work on yourself, but
Yeah.
your interaction with your partner, because that
Yeah.
they have their own stuff that they're
Yeah.
working on, perhaps, hopefully,
Massively.
um, and you've got the dynamics between you two
Exactly.
as a
Exactly.
whole other thing. Like, it's almost easier if you're single to go through it than it is to
Yeah.
be like,
It's
have a
almost as
partner. It's harder.
if you're really honest with your partner and your family just before you go into therapy, right? Especially if you know that it's particularly something critical, like um, manic depression or something like that. The honest thing to say before you meet with your new psychologist is to say to your partner and your family, look, I'm going to be really fucking selfish for the next 18 months,
Right.
you know, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry that that's going to happen, but that's just how it's going to be.
Right. Which is not easy. I mean, it's
Mm.
easy to say, but not easy to do, because
Right.
because your entire life thus far, you've got kids or a partner or
Yeah.
whatever, has been structured around you having a role, right?
Mhm.
Playing this role within it, and then you're
Yeah.
saying, "I'm not going to do that anymore." Then everyone's like, "What the fuck?" So you're forcing them to change,
Yeah.
right? And they usually don't want to, so they'll fight you
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that you don't change. Even though you're going, I'm going to be selfish and do this for me, they'll be going, oh,
Mhm.
hell no, you won't.
Yeah.
And they will fight you. So now,
Yeah.
not only are you fighting yourself to kind of like,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
to therapy,
Yeah.
but you have to fight your closest, your nearest and dearest
Yeah.
as well. And often
Oh.
that's like, you know what, I can't. I just can't
Yeah.
deal
Yeah.
with all of that.
I just or the other thing that can happen is when I had my kind of like mental breakdown, I left my wife, and therefore my son was going through the trauma that he had of his parents splitting up, and
Mhm.
I found it really difficult to be there for him at that point when he
Yeah,
really needed a fucking adult, to
yeah.
help him.
I'm
And
with
all
you.
he could see was like he saw me on a couple of times when I was just in a meltdown.
Yeah, no, I totally get you. So you've got all, like, so I am the same, and you end up with now you've got more trauma that you're adding on, because now you're
Right.
not there for your kid, and now you've got
Yeah.
all the guilt that comes with it. So you're just now
Yeah.
piling more stuff on, and then you've got your ex
Yeah.
partner going, "What the fuck are you doing?" And it's like, "Oh God, I've let you down as well." It's like, "Oh Jesus
Yeah.
Christ."
Yeah.
So
There's trauma, more shame.
yeah, yeah, and then that
Also, the worst kind of shame.
right,
They're like people that kids that are the most innocent in
right. You know,
all of this.
and as part of you and your trauma, you're now potentially giving trauma to, your partners, your ex-partner now, or, like
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
kids. You're now spreading that fucking bullshit around
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
in your attempt to try and sort yourself out. Oh, anyway, yeah, it's
Anyway, so yeah, it's a biggie, isn't it? I mean, I kind of knew this subject was going to be a big one
yeah,
because trauma response is one last anecdote, well, from my part anyway. One last anecdote. I remember the last time I had a meltdown, and it was mentioned in another podcast related to this new research. This kind of thing was mentioned. I'll tell you what happened to me. The last time I had a meltdown, I got really anxious and nervous, and I started shouting, and I was like punching the wall, and blah blah blah. And then, out of nowhere, I just completely snapped out of it, really fast.
all right,
And they said that is a classic ADHD response to trauma.
All right.
And I felt shaming out, and I was thinking, what was that about? Was that all false? Was I making it all up? No, it's because it was this kind of object permanence thing. You know, in that 1 second, it wasn't a problem anymore. I just
Right.
snapped out of it.
Right. And you look back and go, what the hell was that all about?
Yeah,
And then so, I mean, that creates its own shame loop. Like,
yeah,
that was
I did.
stupid.
I was thinking, what did my partner think? It just like suddenly seeing Paul snap out of it in 1 second, going from a meltdown to being completely okay in a nanosecond. I was thinking, what the fuck is that about? Weird, very weird. But they said it's quite a common thing in ADHD and autism.
Mm. Yeah, I
Does
tend to
that
like.
happen to you? Does that land?
No, I tend to like. I tend to be a lot slower in like.
Okay,
I have to kind of come down by steps. I don't snap out of it. I just kind of
okay,
ramp down
okay.
over time.
Over time.
Um,
Okay. Wow, that was a deep dive.
it was a deep dive.
Deep.
All right. Where the fuck am I in the script? All right. So, do we
Well,
do? Is there any other like?
no, I'm pretty much there
All right. Well.
on the trauma response.
Oh, good lord. All right. Well, let's go to our ratings and
Oh,
see what we feel about this. Is it a dopamine hit or is
boundary
it a
time.
burnout thing? Right. Trauma and trauma responses. Is it a dopamine hit or is it a burnout thing?
Oh, blimey, this one's easy, actually, isn't it?
Well,
Dopamine
surely.
0, burnout 10. Heck, there you go.
There we go. I think. Let me think. All right. Dopamine
Is
hit.
there
All
a
right.
good side to it? No,
Yes.
surely
I.
not.
Okay. Look. I'm gonna be the play devil's advocate, I guess.
I've
And
just thought of one. I've just thought of a
go
positive.
on then.
I know all facets of my personality because I've lived out so much trauma in so many different ways. I know pretty much my boundaries.
Right. All right.
That's a positive, isn't it?
That is absolutely. So I would say dopamine. I'd say trauma responses. Oh God, this is the. I mean, this is where take me with a pinch of salt, with a fistful of salt here, right?
Like,
Trauma responses are ways that make you deal with your anxiety, right? About like various like
okay.
well, it's a response. It's what you do in response to the
Oh,
traumas that you have,
I
and
know
you
what you're
get
going to
a
say.
reward from it,
Yeah.
right? So it's like
Yes.
in my example, my traumas have brought along a great deal of success in my life and nice things and money and all sorts of I've traveled the world, right? And it's mostly on the
And the seven
right.
seas.
And
Well,
my sense of humor is a direct result of my trauma.
yes.
So
Yeah. And your sense of humor sucks.
it does. It's awful. Um,
My first psychologist said, Paul, you've had all of this trauma, but that trauma has given you a certain level of success, she said.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that
Oh,
that
God.
that
Yeah.
you know what
All right.
I know I'm going to say burnout 10, right? It will get you. It will get you if you
It'll
don't
get
deal
you.
with it. It
But,
will get you. But the dopamine hit is pretty good. I'd say it's like an 8, right?
right.
I'd say
So now I'm changing my mind. Well
there's
done, Martin. Very good
I
job.
think there's quite a lot to add
I've
there.
always been saying for the last 3 years, my sensitivity is my best friend and my worst enemy.
Right.
But I wouldn't be as sensitive as I am had I not experienced so much trauma.
Right. Exactly. So
So my sensitivity is my best friend.
there is definitely an upside, but I would
Fair
say
enough, mate. Fair
I
enough.
would say caveat all of that, because if you don't deal with your trauma, you are in trouble. You will be in trouble. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a
Even
reason
if
why we
ignorance is bliss, mate. There's
don't.
a lot of
Yeah,
people
so,
that are really good at pretending that they nothing ever bad has ever happened.
mhm.
There's no regrets,
No
and it's
regrets.
completely bullshit. And sometimes I really envy them, but mostly I don't.
I know, Jesus. It was like, oh, it was like listening to my mum on her deathbed, right? My mum,
Right?
who is a complete narcissist, would say, "I've had a pretty good life. Yeah, yeah, it's just been really, really good." And I'm thinking, no, you were a fucking nightmare. You just caused
Yeah, yeah,
shit all over the place. You didn't
yeah,
have
yeah,
a good
yeah.
life. You had like a
Well,
you
that's a
you
classic narcissist, isn't
you
it?
just caused trauma left, right, and center.
That's the classic narcissist because they cannot ever bear to face up to their um, um,
Yeah, they're
their
acting up, and
reality.
they're
Their reality.
right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's buried,
All right,
buried.
right. Well,
Okay, excellent. All
let's
good stuff.
let's jump in the tractor and make our way over to Alexandra's haunted inn.
Yes.
Oh, and what? And she's left a note, and
She has, Martin.
it was rather
She
rather
said,
long.
it's a word. Well, I'll shorten it. She said she screamed with joy when she saw the title of the episode. Love it, she said.
Right, that's
So if you go
last
back to
last.
the last episode, is about composure.
That's about room
Oh
101.
no, Room 101. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, and she said she wants. I like this. She said she wants to put her co worker in room 101.
All right.
So yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? She
Well,
sounds like she's having a nightmare with a with one of her co-workers. This
right,
sounds horrendous. She
right.
said
So, yep.
she
Go on.
says that she wants to slap her.
Right. So I've pulled up the room 101 judge, and I've basically
Okay,
copied and pasted what Alexandra said about her co-worker, and we'll see
right.
whether we can put her co-worker into room 101 or not. And it comes back as yes, you can put your co-worker in room
Right.
101. It says the reason is not because you hate her and not because you wanted to slap her. The court strongly discourages workplace assault, no matter how tempting the fantasy may be, but because there is a special category of colleague whose superpower is turning ordinary interactions into unpleasant experiences. So, yeah, she's
Apparently,
banished.
Alexandra said she even said it out loud that she wanted to slap her. That's a nightmare.
Well,
I know
she
how
is
she
now
feels, so
she's now banished. So you can feel good
it's
about
good.
that.
It's good.
All
The
right,
power of being the mayors, co-mayors of ADHDville. We can do these things.
right. So if you've got any comments about this episode or any of our other episodes, get into YouTube or where you get your podcasts and make some comments, and we'll. And
Yeah,
what will we do, Paul? We might.
we might read them out on a future podcast.
Oh, marvelous! All right, let's crack on and go to the quiz. It's the quiz.
The quiz.
It's a quiz where Paul
I
and
like the
I
echo effect that you put on your voice. Then it makes you sound really kind of like mysterious and
are professional. Um,
professional.
so Paul and I we ask each we take it in turns to ask each other like a sort of 2 truths and a lie format kind of thing.
Yes.
And it's the first to 10, and we are currently at 5 each. So it's even Stevens going into this round,
All square.
and it's your turn to
It's my
ask
turn.
the questions.
And the theme is, strangely, Martin, the theme is trauma,
Okay.
trauma management.
All
Hello,
right.
Eddie.
Oh, is he in the background? Oh yeah, he's
He's in
just
the
over there.
background. He looks very wobbly. Bless
Yeah,
him.
he's old.
Bless him.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, so Martin,
Yeah.
I'm going to we're going to talk about three different famous people that demonstrated trauma in different ways.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
and you have to decipher from their trauma experience
Right.
how it um, how it was borne out. What kind of trauma did they display?
Okay.
What kind of how would you categorize it? Anyway,
Okay. All right.
it will be clear as we go through it.
All right.
Okay. So we start with the first one. Frida Kahlo, Martin. Frida Kahlo,
All right.
famous Mexican artist. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She channeled her immense physical pain and emotional trauma from her relationship with Diego Rivera into
Okay.
raw, visceral paintings, Martin.
Uh-huh.
In psychodynamic terms, transforming traumatic pain into culturally valuable art is known as which defense mechanism?
Oh, okay. All
Okay.
right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm tracking.
A. Fawning.
Okay. Was it a fawning thing? All right.
B. Sublimation.
All right.
C. Disassociation. Or D. Fight. There's four categories. I'm cheating. Okay.
What?
Fawning, sublimation, disassociation, or fight. So she channeled her immense physical pain into a creative channel.
Ugh. Okay. Eddie's been really quiet for 140 episodes,
It's the first time I've heard him bark.
and now he's barking. Hang on. Hang on. I'm just
First
gonna
time I've
go.
heard him bark,
I
ever.
know. I know. I'm just gonna let him out, out the door. Oh no, he's coming back around. I'm going to say fight. It is a fight
Okay.
response.
I can understand why you said that, but you're wrong.
Ugh.
Is sublimation. This adaptive defense mechanism converts unmanageable, traumatic, or instinctual impulses into socially productive and creative outlets.
Okay.
Okay,
Next one.
next one. Marilyn Monroe, Martin.
Marilyn Monroe.
They're
Okay.
all women, actually, just so you know. Many biographers note that blah, blah, blah.
Marilyn.
Many biographers note that Marilyn Monroe frequently altered her vocal register to a breathy, childlike whisper. She's famous for it, right?
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
you. Yep.
Okay.
Remember
And
that.
adopted a highly compliant, non-threatening persona when dealing with abusive studio executives.
Yeah.
In complex trauma theory, this unconscious shifting of identity to minimize danger is called
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
somatization,
Okay.
hysterical fight, depersonalization,
Right.
or D, trauma-induced fawning.
Well, it definitely feels like trauma-induced fawning. Surely.
Correct. It says modifying one's voice, stature, and desires to appear completely non-threatening softens the aggressions of dominant figures. He's gone away.
Nice. All right. So
Okay.
next question.
Next question. Joan of Arc. This is an interesting one.
Uh-huh.
Historical accounts of Joan of Arc describe her as entering states of profound, unbothered calm, a bit like you, Martin, and experience vivid auditory and visual visions
Mm-hmm.
during brutal military sieges or intense hostile interrogations.
Yes.
From modern trauma perspective, what psychological buffer does this suggest?
Okay.
A. Somatic hyperarousal. Oh,
Okay.
so B. Behavioral fawning.
No.
C. Active analytical flight.
No.
Or D. Compartmentalized disassociation.
Last one.
Bravo. Yes, exactly. Says the mind detaches from immediate terrifying environmental data by shifting consciousness into a safer internal or spiritual landscape.
Yep. She
I
was.
thought this was interesting, a bit easy, but interesting. There are like so many different ways that people manage their trauma. I thought it was
Yep.
quite interesting.
That puts me at 6 and you at 5.
Yes.
So I am one ahead going into next week. So speaking of next week, next week's episode, let's talk about that.
Yes.
So I thought
Let's talk about that.
it's my turn. It's my turn, Mister. I thought as we were heading into the summer at full speed, and those days are getting hot.
Yeah.
I thought we would talk about ADHD and the vacation paradox. Now, the vacation paradox is like you're stressed, you go on vacation or a holiday if you're a Brit, and you're still stressed
Yes.
all throughout your
Or even more stressed.
yeah. Like vacations can stress you, and then you come back and you're like, God, I need a vacation from my
For
vacation.
vacation. Yeah. Okay. Good one.
So we're going to talk about that, and maybe I'll come up with a couple of things that we can all do just to try and chill out. God, the wind's blowing in the blimey. That was
Separate holidays.
yeah. All right.
Just say.
So I'm looking forward to that. So that just leaves me to say ADHDville is delivered fresh every Tuesday to all purveyors of fine podcasts. Please subscribe to the pod and rate us
As traumatic.
as the least traumatic podcast
In the world.
Yeah, why not? Why not? And feel free to correspond at will in the comments. But wait, there's more. If you wish to see our beautiful faces and Sally Forster, the YouTubes and the TikToks.
Or Sally Fields.
And you can pick up a quill and email us at adhdville@gmail.com. But in the meantime, be fucking kind to yourself.
And I beseech you, fellow ADHDers, fare thee well with gladness of heart.
There.
Especially Eddie.
That's that.
Yeah. Eddie was 16 on June the 17th. So
Lovely.
whenever you're June the 17th, 2026. There we go. All right.
Lovely.
Oh, I've got to carry on doing some jet washing now.
Jet washing. Okay.
Yeah. You know those jet washing machines with the
Okay.
powered water.
The driveway.
I'm doing the area around the pool.
Okay.
So yeah.
Nice. I like jet washing.